Hello, hello. Thank you very much for being here today. Guys, this is amazing tantric woman called Bhavani, and I'm very honored she made a time for us today. So thank you very much for being here, Bhavani. And I would like to ask you, could you introduce yourself a little bit? Tell us about yourself, couple of sentences. Who are you? Who is Bhavani?
Yes. Hi. Welcome to this interview. And thank you for inviting me to do this beautiful interview. And hopefully, some women will get inspired by the journey of Tantra and by the teachings of Tantra. So, a little bit about myself. My name is Bhavani, and I am 33 years old. And I am originally born in Austria and in the beautiful mountain village side where I'm also at this point taking holiday. I have a daughter. She's 8 years old. She just turned 8 yesterday. And we live together in Thailand in a beautiful tantric community for the last 11 years already. And this is where I pretty much, let's say, started and continued my tantric journey, because I had the honor of started already the teachings of Tantra when I was around 15. And I'll speak more about it later. And then I came to Thailand and I continued and really started to embark and deepen this journey of Tantra. And there in Tantra, I teach online as well as in presence. I'm a Tantra teacher, I'm a meditation teacher. I teach also Hatha Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, and a lot of different workshops in terms of femininity, relationships as well. So there's a very broad spectrum that I teach there together with my partner. And yeah, it's been a long journey in Thailand, especially for me, and a beautiful journey on the spiritual path. And this is what I pretty much do. I share that spiritual knowledge that I have received from my teachers over the last 11 years to men and to women and to whoever is willing and wants to have this teaching, wants to share that journey together with us.
Awesome. You mentioned you had some, or you have started already around your 15 years old. Can you tell us more a little bit about how your Tantra journey actually started?
Yes. So I had some unfortunate events in my life, some sexual traumatic experiences in my early teenhood that led me off searching for something that could help me heal in this journey. And I was fortunate enough to have friends and parents who were already on the path of Tantra, and they brought me to my first Tantra teachers. So when I was around 15 or 16, I had the great honor to meet them. And they were teaching a lot of Tantra and also a lot of Taoism from Mantak Chia. And I went there with a lot of sexual traumas, and I needed a lot of sexual healing. And I was also very interested in the mysteries of life and to figure out much more beyond the scenes, what we see in daily life. I was always interested in, like, in the universe, in what's behind the unseen world and so on, and things that people don't talk about. It was something from my very early childhood onwards already that fascinated me a lot, especially in the forests. I asked myself a lot of these questions and I discovered these things. And then I met my first Tantra teachers in Germany, and they helped me a lot through tantric massages. I received them from a woman, which was very, very healing. And I received a couple of tantric massages from her to heal from sexual traumatic experiences that I had. And so this started to bring me into this whole journey. And then I did a lot of workshops with them, couple workshops together with my partner at that time, and also femininity workshops where I was only 15. I was so small and innocent and quite, unaware of everything. And then I was in a workshop all in a sudden with 20 women. Some of them were like 60, 80, and I was absolutely the youngest. And it was such a revelation for me to be with women in the same room, to be naked with women in the same room, and to work on femininity, on healing traumas, in connecting to my femininity and really embracing the gifts that I have as a young woman already, because I was not aware of it. It was just criticized always. So it was very healing for me to be there, to receive teachings of Tantra, and especially about femininity at that point. And I continued studying with them, of course. And then many or few more teachers along the way came, which I studied for several years, and I still study with some of them. So this is how I started my Tantra journey, basically.
Wow. So we can say that you have been practicing over 15 years.
So I started practicing Tantra, especially sexual Tantra, when I was around 16 with my partner at that time. But then I had a big gap again, just traveling and getting lost a little bit in the world, unfortunately. And then pretty much since around 11 years, I've went very strongly and deeply into the journey. And ever since, this has been my life. I'm living also in a spiritual community, and this is where I really started to deepening the teachings and teaching them and practicing them on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm. You know, and you mentioned something very, very interesting and very important, that Tantra can help heal also sexual problems. And it is very, very important. I would say we should highlight it a little bit, because uh, when I was speaking with or chatting with a couple of women, you know, they are like scared about Tantra, because they think it's more like about porn stuff and uh, sex and group sex and everything. So could you a little bit help them to understand the true meaning of Tantra for women?
Yes, you mean more in terms of the sexual Tantra just now?
We can, of course, talk about the sexuality as well, because it's important,
In
right?
general.
And then in the general, because Tantra is not about sex and sexuality,
Yes.
correct? So also that part, just the sexuality is very, very important.
Yes. So Tantra is something that is very holistic. And this is something that I really love about Tantra, because we work with Hatha Yoga, we work with the body, we do Kundalini Yoga, we do breathing, we work with the mind, we work with emotions, with sexuality. So we work in a very holistic way in Tantra, and Tantra includes everything. So we can heal pretty much everything that needs healing in the body. And especially for us as women, we tend to come, or there's men also, but women as well, we tend to come with a lot of, or with a lot, some more, some lesser sexual traumas, things that needs healing, also emotionally and so on. So this is really beautiful and helped me a lot. I came there with a lot of sexual traumas, emotional disturbances, mental disturbances. And when I started my teacher training in one of the Tantra schools, it helped me so much. Just the Hatha Yoga by itself, doing Hatha Yoga and doing breath work like pranayamas and so on, and helping the body to heal, helping the emotions to pass through the body and to allow the emotions to release from the body. So there's a lot that we can do with different styles of yoga in terms of healing emotions, healing the mind, and so on. When it comes, and of course, meditation, meditation is another incredible tool to center the mind and to help us purify the mind and to help us purify also so many beliefs that we have around, wrong beliefs that we have around sexuality, what sexuality is about and what sexuality should do, and all the you also say like all the limiting beliefs we have about porn and about sexuality that are out there in the world and that are kind of expected from us in a way we think they're expected from us. Meditation puts everything so much beautiful in perspective, because I can sit down and I can really tune into myself and meditate also upon the nature of sexuality. What is sexuality? What it means to be a woman? What femininity means like? And so there can be many different meditations. I can do, as I said, some on femininity and really looking into that, but also just meditating, focusing on the breathing or using a mantra that you have been initiated with. And it helps you so much stabilizing the mind and purifying the mind, and also taking out all the garbage that we have learned when it comes to sexuality, and also when it comes to everything of our entire being, because we've been taught so many limiting beliefs, about us, about our emotions, mind, spirituality, religion, sexuality. And so these tools are beautiful to work with. And when it comes more to the sexuality of Tantra, yes, there is a lot of misunderstandings of what Tantra is. People think that Tantra is only about sex and kink, open relationships, and that Tantra is about living out some porn fantasies or some dirty fantasies. Yes, they can be lived out as well. There's no, we can use all of it. But Tantra is not about kinky, dirty, naughty stuff, things at all. Tantra is basically, and when we get to the core of Tantra, Tantra is about getting to know yourself, yeah? Getting to know truly of who you are, of what you are made of, really getting to know the universe via your body, via the chakras, via your practice. It's like you get so much knowledge of what you are and what the world is about and the universe is about and what the opposite is made of. And this beautiful journey, especially also with a man together, where you get to know the masculine essence, you get to know the feminine essence within you, and you start to make love and they unify together, the plus and the minus, the masculine and the feminine, and they reach this zero, this neutrality, which is this divinity that we want to achieve. And this is this intimacy, this very sweet spot within all of us, this intimate divine connection to the universe, yeah, or whatever you want to call it. You want to call it Buddha nature, the universe, divine consciousness. This is where we really want to reach with Tantra. And it doesn't matter. You can use the kinky side. You can use the innocent side. You can use the naughty side, the playful side. You can use anything. So it's like your entire being is welcome. Everything is welcome because everybody's different. Everybody has different likes and preferences, and we can use them all to raise them and to divinize them. And then the Tantra can help us so beautifully to find this sweet, intimate spot that is within ourselves and this connection to the absolute higher truth. And with that comes a lot of healing along the way, especially also in tantric lovemaking. You can be with one partner, you can be with many partners. There is no limit to it, yeah. So there's no need to be afraid in terms of anything, because you choose what you want and you choose what you like and what fits your personality best. And sometimes you can go and try something, and if it doesn't work for you, then next time you know and you choose something else and you go with your preference. Because some people, they like to be with one partner, and some people, they love to be open, and there is beauty in all of them, and there's challenges in all of them. So there you have to just see and try. But when it comes to the sexuality and the lovemaking in Tantra, this is something where I found a lot of healing, a lot of sexual healing, a lot of emotional healing, mental healing, because it's like you make love in a special way, the way we teach, like when you become a tantric man and a tantric woman, there's special techniques, special ways how you make love and how you contain your energy versus losing your energy. And so it's like we transform all these, or let's better say release. There's a lot of release in certain orgasm in women. We have a lot of emotional release, and it can be that there is a big trauma and it's like bubbling up in lovemaking, and you feel it, and then you start crying, and there's a huge and beautiful emotional release. And I've had so many, especially in the first years of Tantra, where I cried my heart out, and it can be for a moment painful because of the memory of what we experienced, but then you let go of it and you either continue the lovemaking or not, and you feel so much lighter afterwards. So Tantra is fantastic of helping with clearing out emotional heaviness, traumas. Don't have to be big traumas. They can be also small things. Like, I give you an example. My father used to always criticize me, like about my body. Yeah, like there used to squeeze me in my belly and make silly comments and making comments about like criticizing my body basically. Mm-hmm. So I always thought there was something wrong with my body, and he brought a lot of pain and a lot of discomfort, and seeing my body as something not divine and not beautiful. And it was very painful for me. And coming into the sexual tantric practice and practicing with experienced tantric men helped me so much, because there's so much worship and so much love and beauty, and so much, we call it transfiguration. It's like where you see the beauty within and without. And just by the lovemaking and by the worship of the men as well, it transformed my entire being so much, where I started to like my body, and then even started to love my body with every imperfection that society calls an imperfection, that I could start to embrace and really like. And so it happens sometimes in the lovemaking that it would come up. I would hear the thoughts of my dad criticizing me, and then I would ask the divine consciousness, I said, please purify it. I want to let it go. And then through the lovemaking, it starts to purify and tears starts to come and this emotional release starts to come and you feel so much lighter afterwards. And it helped me so much with overcoming guilt and shame about sexuality, because we all grew up in a way that sexuality is seen as something more dirty, hidden, and something that, yeah, we shouldn't have too much pleasure and we shouldn't embrace sexuality. Yeah, it's not taught like, let's embrace sexuality and let's be sexually open and let's orgasm. Like, this is not what we have been taught. So, I also was taught like that through religion, through societal conditioning, my parents. And it blocked me so much, the way I made love and the way I expressed myself. And Tantra really allowed me to step into that power and to be loud, to express myself. I'm not saying you have to be loud, but if you want to, you can. And so it brought a lot of healing in terms of my sexual expression and orgasms, which they were never there for me in the beginning. Never. It took years for me to develop them because of all the wrong beliefs I have been put into my mind and so on. So yes, there's a lot of healing. I just gave a few examples. Of course, there's many, many more. In a short interview, we can't go into all of them, but it's such a beautiful way of helping with any kind of healing.
Awesome. That sounds so good. And I honestly think that especially we women and our bodies, right? We just, it's everywhere. There's the skinny models, and this gives us this impression that we should look like this. And then comes to the partner, and you are walking naked, maybe just you want to show yourself, and maybe he says, "Oh, didn't you gain some weight? Or don't you should do some workout or something like that?" And that is something what us women, I think, put very much down. But if we start working on the loving ourselves, first of all, it will not happen anymore. And I think second, this will be already huge relief. And it might also, once we accept our body, it can also heal different things, maybe even in the sexuality, right? Because we women, we don't want to be undressed because of this and that. The belly is this stria, right? Maybe from the delivery or so we are ashamed. But when we open up and just let it go, it can be also a big healing in terms of sexuality as well, right? Because there is this tension. Just if you let go just with the body, it can also heal a lot of things.
For sure. Yeah. If you start opening and you start to, sexuality is all about relaxation for women, especially. And when we start to relax and we let go of all this tension that we're holding and all the things that we have to be and we should be and what our moms and fathers and friends and boyfriends have told us, there is such a release and it's such an embrace also. And this is something what I love in lovemaking also, to use yourself to get turned on. Yeah, you're making love and you're looking at yourself when you're making love, worshiping yourself as a woman and starting to love every part of you. And of course, you don't need a partner for it. You can be by yourself. You can self-pleasure yourself and have a beautiful bath, dance, whatever you do, and do it with admiration and with love and bringing love to every part of your body, massaging these parts of your body that you don't like so much, and really embrace it, give it love, embrace it. And yes, they are not, it's like, of course they are perfect. We're perfect the way they are. But like you said, with all the media and everything and the models nowadays, in that kind of sense, nobody's perfect. You have to be like 24/7 on your, you have to be jogging and doing all the, what do you call it? Like what is it called? Like the cosmetic changes in your face, all of it. Yeah? Imagine how stressful it is when you have to pay attention to this 24/7 just to have this like society perfect body, which for me, I don't consider it perfect at all. It's that when women have this naturality from themselves, doesn't matter how they look, it's just beautiful. And when you start accepting that, and when you embody that beauty, it shines from within. And I've seen so many women in my life that are not seen as perfect in our society world. And I see them as absolutely perfect and beautiful because there's this shining and this femininity that comes from within. And this is what brings the real beauty, not the external expected societal norms that we have nowadays. And it's very unfortunate because I see it already a little bit in my daughter, even though she's very protected from media and all of these things. But my father also now, he's criticizing her already as an 8-year-old child. They say things, oh, she's so skinny. Oh, and she has gained a bit of weight. And it's so many times they comment on such things, which I find it so sad that this has such a big importance in the Western world, or in most of the parts of the world, pretty much. And it's very damaging, especially to young girls when they start their feminine exploration already with that kind of pressure that lies upon them. So for this, I have a huge passion to start teaching Tantra to teenagers when they are still in school, and to help them with this exploration. This is something that I have as a project in mind for the future, hopefully.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm totally 100% support, because I feel the same way. The children should be taught tantra as well. Just the society still sees tantra as something sexual, and how you can teach sexuality to 8-year-old kid, right? It's something we will put you into the jail for that.
Yes.
So it needs a little bit of time and a lot of work for us also for you, right? To bring it up and start slowly also teaching the teenagers in, let's say, safe way, that they will understand it correctly. So they will come with a true or good purpose why actually to do that. And you are also
yes, and to teach them about real.
Yes, go ahead.
And to teach the teenagers about real intimacy, yeah, because they teach about men and women getting together and doing whatever, like procreation, making babies, but about real intimacy and this sweetness that can be shared together, and this connection that is so beautiful and can be just wonderful.
Yeah, I totally agree. We can avoid, or they can actually avoid, a lot of traumas in the future.
Yes.
And bad decisions. And you were talking a lot also about the femininity, and it is something I think also another big important topic in nowadays and in the society, because, for example, what I see, if there is a woman and she's a successful businesswoman, she's more like a man. Actually, she like lost her femininity. Or it's not only that. If you see women in a long-term relationship, they also changed a lot. It's more like they are generals, so they are not women anymore. So what would you say, or recommend, how we can keep or work on our femininity, how it is important for us women?
Yes. This is a big topic.
Yeah.
Of course. This is something, yes. This is something that is unfortunately a very sad reality. I feel is more and more decreasing for masculinity and for femininity. I see so many women around and men around that are not man anymore, not women anymore. Things are getting so mixed up in this world nowadays. And especially I see a lot of women. It's very important in this modern world that women are strong, they are more tough, they are more rough, and they have to be successful. Yeah, they have to kind of compete with the masculine, and competing is a very masculine way of being. Men like to do that, and it's a man thing. But women also tend to do that quite a lot, to compete even with their own men. Yeah, it's like you're with some man in your relationship and you're competing with the man, and what it does, it brings you more and more into the masculine. And this is also something, it's a problem in relationship as well, because if we become more and more masculine as women, our men, they also want a woman that is feminine. And slowly, even the attraction and the sexual desire and so on will decrease, because it's like man and man, like plus and plus usually don't get together. Yeah, it's the plus and the minus, the feminine and the masculine. So they're in relationship, it's even a problem where the women say, oh, the men are not man enough anymore, and the man say the women are not feminine enough anymore. So this is something I see a lot, I hear a lot, and I teach a lot about femininity. So it's difficult because when you have no one around you that is working on femininity and that is expressing themselves as in this feminine nature, it's like we have hardly role models around us. So I definitely recommend, in terms of that, doing workshops on femininity, how to be more soft, how to be more caring and loving, because these are feminine qualities. Not saying that the man shouldn't live them out as well. Of course they should as well. But it's more of a feminine quality, to be loving, to be nourishing, to be caring, and to be soft in our action as well. It doesn't mean we cannot be successful or we cannot work in a management business or so on, but we can do it more soft. It doesn't have to be from this controlling masculine angle. You can be more soft. You can use your feminine qualities to achieve in life what you want. I can use my flirtations, my gestures, my body, my mind, my emotions, and we have a lot of them, and we have many beautiful ones as a woman, and I can use them to achieve what I want. And some would say, oh, isn't it manipulation if I use my flirting skills to get the job that I want? Absolutely not. You're a beautiful woman. You have flirting skills as a woman. You have a charm as a woman. So why not use them to get the job that you want? A man does it in a different way. He presents himself with all the qualities and he does it more in a firm way. And this is his way. And then us as women, we can do it in our way. Yeah, we use our body and we use the gifts that God has given to us as a woman to, and I don't want to say achieve now because I don't specifically want to use that word, but to attract the things that we want in life. And so also surround yourself with women that you feel are feminine, that inspire you in terms of femininity. There's some movies as well that can be watched. And maybe you can give them later on. They don't come just now to my mind. You can write them down as well. That can be watched in terms of femininity, being inspired about that. Yes, there is. Yeah, I have them all in mind, but I'm so bad with names. One of them is called, I think it's Dangerous Beauty. No, not Dangerous Beauty. The one with the courtesan, which is so beautiful when she starts to go on that journey to embrace her feminine qualities. But I will let you know later. And so surround yourself with women that you feel they are feminine and be together with them. Go to them, like, because usually what we do is when we see a woman, she has qualities that we like, we say, oh, it's unfortunately it happens a lot in the modern world. We say, oh, she's a bitch, or she's like this, or I don't like her, and we put them down. But in the other hand, we could see them and approach them and say, wow, you have such a beautiful softness to you, or you are so feminine. I feel like you have such a beautiful sensuality to you. I would love to learn it. Can you teach me? And there, of course, there's many different ways she can teach you in daily life ways. The woman can teach you in a more sensual, sexy way. You can make love to that woman. You can be in any way intimate with her that you want, but it can also be done in a non-intimate way. You can also sit together, talk about it, and you can try to practice it. Let's say you like a woman, the way she walks. Yeah, it's a bit of a more superficial example, but if you want to walk more feminine, it will help you also to increase femininity within, of course. So if you see that woman walking beautifully and feminine, you can ask her and she can teach you and you can do it together. And there is this sharing, which is like women learn via sharing, not via competition. So when we get together as women and we share together verbally, emotionally, mentally, whatever, and we teach each other certain things, it's via sharing, and there's this sweetness and this love again with women versus this competition and this like, you know, like this kind of fight. There's so much fight in the world also with women versus this embracing and cherishing each other. Like you see a woman, you like something in your mind, go, wow, she's so beautiful. Instead of saying, oh, I don't like her, or I don't like the way she walks, because we feel like we're kind of threatened by it. Yeah, because she has something that we don't have. And I used to do that a lot because I'm in open relationships since more than 11 years. And I was so jealous and so triggered always. And I used to always put women down. Whatever I liked about them and I didn't have, I couldn't handle it. And I just put them down. And I started realizing once I embraced it. And in my mind, I started worshiping them for what they have. And seeing the beautiful qualities, it started to change within me, and I started to have these qualities as well. And the relationship, of course, to the woman changed so much, and not just to the woman, but in terms of the entire femininity topic. Because if I criticize a woman externally on her physical body, we can pretty be sure that I do the same thing to myself, right? I criticize myself as well for it. In the brain, it's the same. If I criticize outside or inside, it's exactly the same. And so it's very important to watch our mind and to start changing these thinking patterns about ourselves and the criticism on our body, on our sexuality, on our femininity, and all of it. And also to be gentle, because things cannot be taught within a day. It takes time to go on that journey, and to love yourself no matter what. Doesn't matter if I said some qualities now that are masculine and you have them. I also have qualities that are more masculine and I use them at times, and cherish them as well. But if you want to go on the feminine aspect, then there has to be a bit of, it's like starting a journey on embracing and bringing these qualities to our being, and being together with other women and sharing in that kind of way.
This was amazing, because I think this has something to do a lot of with the movies, what we are seeing, especially Hollywood. There is this jealousy, not only the movies, also in the family, right? When we see the models of our parents, that the mothers are maybe, or the women around us are too protective, that the men cannot even look at the woman, because only the mother is only one, and no one else, and so on. And then we see it, and we take it, and then we act accordingly, and no one says that this is actually what we are hurting ourselves, right? So, and this is bringing me into the question about the love. You already said that we should love ourselves. This is the self-love quality, right? So if you could tell us more about the love, how you feel love or self-love. Could you, I think you already said that you started to love yourself much more, right? Realizing how beautiful and how divine you are. Just can you tell us a little bit now more about how you feel, how you perceive the love, let's say overall, for yourself? You mentioned. What about the relationships? What in the connection, the love connection, in the love making? How that changed or developed?
Yes. Yes. So first I need to say a little bit, because this is a very big topic when it comes to love. Many people think, oh, we know love and we say each other all the time, oh, I love you, I love you. You walk out of the door and it's this American thing of like, oh, I love you. And you walk out and there's nothing behind it. Yeah, I was in America also for many years. And so many times I heard, I love you. And I was like, but I never got the feeling that they love me. It was just like this modern thing that we kind of say to each other, versus saying I appreciate you, or I like these qualities about you, or so on. There's a big difference. Or also, it would be most appropriate most often in a love relationship to say I desire you, or I have a huge chemistry for you, or I'm falling for you, or something, because love is quite a different topic. And here I like to always bring up Jesus, for example, because Jesus for me is such a huge inspiration, or Mother Mary, when it comes to love. I don't even have to say much to you just now. I give you just these two examples of Jesus and Mother Mary, versus looking in your own life when you use the words love, especially during sex. Often we use it when we're in this heat of the sexuality, and try to see the difference and perceive the difference between the two of them. I mean, it's heaven and earth, And there's nothing wrong with desire and lust and pleasure. I love them too, and I'm a tantric yogini, and I embrace them, and wouldn't want to give them up. But it's a big difference. And so many times when we make love, we are having filters of biological reactions and chemistry and the desire and the lust that taint everything, the entire screen, with this lust. And then we are so hot for each other, and then it's like, wow, I love you. Versus it's actually, I desire you, I have romantic fantasies about you and sexual fantasies about you. And this is something more of like I don't want to call it, because it's not necessarily a love, but it is a form of expression and a form of let's call it affection that can grow into love. And especially in Tantra, we use these lust and these desires and the fantasies and the chemistry and all of these things to transform them into real love. So this is something, when it comes to Tantra, if it's real Tantra, it can never be without love, because it means that we rise from something that is inferior to something that is much superior. Yeah, especially when you speak about chakras here, these qualities that I mentioned about lust and desire and so on, they come from Swadhisthana chakra. If you heard about chakras already, we call it often the sexual chakra as well. Versus love is 2 chakras above, and it's in the center of the chest, and it's much, much higher. So it's like in Tantra, we use the lower energies, and we have a process called sublimation, and where we use the energies of the lower chakras and we transform them, we bring them higher in our being. It's like there is a transformation happening with them. So it's like I don't have to take them away. There's nothing wrong with them, but I use the energy of them and I transform them, and I put this energy into a different chakra, into my heart chakra. Yeah. And I can focus in the lovemaking on my heart chakra. I can put music that works on the heart chakra. And together, while we make love, I focus in the middle of my heart. And it's like we bring the energy up to the heart, and as well sharing it with my partner together and creating this field of love together with the music and putting my mind into it as well, versus having in my thoughts lust and desire and kinkier fantasies. I start to look at my lover and really start to try to love the soul of my lover and to feel this intimate connection to my lover, and using my mind and using my emotions to create this love and this intimacy with my lover. And with this, of course, what has helped me a lot was the yoga practice, doing yoga practice that works on Anahata chakra, on the heart chakra, doing meditations. So it's like working a lot on the heart and making this energy stronger, because if we don't have that developed much, it's also difficult in lovemaking to start perceiving. And it took me many, many years. In the beginning, my heart was very, very closed, and it was difficult for me to perceive love. What has helped me a lot also was to become a mother, because to love, it's something, there's a beautiful initiation happening when you become a mother. It's this love that is unconditional. Yeah. It's a love that is unchanging, no matter what's happening, no matter what your partner, your child, your parents are going to do. You're going to love for the sake of love, and nothing is going to change that. It doesn't matter if they disappoint you, they don't do what you want, they leave you, they don't give you sex, they don't give you emotional stability, whatever you want, but your love is not going to change. And this is the difference between lust and love, because when we are in the state of lust, we want something always from the other. We expect something. And if we don't get that, then we're closed down. We don't love anymore. But when it comes to real love, it's never going to stop. He can cheat at you. He can do whatever he wants. You may not be with the person anymore. Yeah, because if they cheat on you over, it's like, what's the point being together? There also should be an authenticity and a trust. But you can still love the person. And when we look in the modern world, people are together, they love each other, and then they hate each other. Separation, hate, divorce, and it's very ugly many times. And then I ask myself, so where is the love? Where was the love in the beginning? Oh yeah, it stopped, the love. No, but love cannot stop. Once you tap into this infinite amount of this fountain and ocean of love, it flows overwhelmingly. And this is exactly when I talked about Jesus, like Jesus was crucified. Yeah, there were so many things done to Jesus that were highly unpleasant. And did he give up his love? No, he didn't. His love for mankind was infinite. It was perfect. And it was overflowing, and nothing could have changed this process for him. Of course, I'm not trying to compare myself at any cost here with Jesus, but I'm trying to explain what this love is. And also Mother Mary is this unconditional love. And you see Mother Mary again and again with Jesus. She's holding him in his arm. And it's this love from a mother to a child, but it can be also between lovers that is an infinite love. You tap into this infinite love. With it also comes this affection. And I see it now coming back from a community that is embracing this love a lot, coming back here to Austria, how people are so closed down. and they don't even hug properly. It's also something with Anahata Chakra. We like to hug and we like to embrace and to hold each other and to really like feel each other also. It's like touch has a lot to do with love as well. And here people, they give each other a handshake, or even now I've seen in the Corona time, they give each other a fist bump. My brother greeted me with a fist bump, but I was shocked. I was like, what is this, And people close down even more through the Corona time. And I got a bit shocked, I have to say. It is so different than this embracement of love and affection and joy. Having joy is like you make love, and versus feeling lust and desire, you have real joy. The joy of knowing yourself, the joy of knowing your partner, and this happiness of just being. Yeah, doesn't matter if you're together with your partner or not, but it's just this happiness without any cause. It doesn't matter if the world outside of you is in any condition. It doesn't matter. You're just happy, and you are in this in a very intimate connection to your own heart, and of course to the divine consciousness. Because that comes hand in hand. It's not just a love for the individual, it's an infinite love, which is for the divine consciousness, this field that is everywhere, all the time available for us to tune into. And yes, lovemaking is incredible to tap into that. And for me, especially, open relationship has helped me so much going into that. Not in the beginning. There was a lot of stuff to work through in the beginning, but then to start loving each and every man that I am with. And this was something for me so freeing and beautiful, because from a very early age on, I always wanted to have several boyfriends, and it was not allowed in society. I was called a slut and a whore and all of these kind of things. And I just wanted to love and to be and to express. And then later on, I heard I can't do that. And I started to be open. And it was difficult in the beginning to love several men, because I was used to just giving it to one man. But then to embrace one man and another, and to start loving the man not only for their qualities, but for the masculinity, the source of masculinity within them and the divinity within them, has brought so much healing for me and so much beauty, and it's helped me so much about love. And it is so freeing to be able to love. And it doesn't matter, I don't have to be sexually with them. I can be, or I don't have to be, but just to love freely, and not to having to contract myself every time my partner is next to me and is looking, if I'm looking at the man or not, or at the woman, or somebody could be jealous or somebody could be hurt. If I'm in a state of love and I want to express it and share it, please express it and do it. And I'm at this point where I would never want to be in a relationship ever again where I feel like that is choked in any way, my expression of love. And here I'm not talking about sex at all, but just the expression of love. If I cannot give my best friends an intimate hug, and cuddle with them also because of feeling of closeness, and share with them some very intimate things in terms of verbal expression as well, it would be very difficult for me to, let's say I would not want it in my life. I've had it for a long time in my life. And it feels just amazing, this free expression of love. And it can be just with one partner as well, but this external expression and manifestation of love, to hug, to kiss just on the cheeks also. Nowadays, people just they kind of give each other just a clap on the shoulder. And to sit together sometimes with someone, to hold hands, to connect, to look into each other's eyes and to connect deeply, versus being, hey, hello, how are you? What have you done? Which is most often very superficial. But to see each other for what we are. But most people are very afraid of that. I see it now also in my family. There's so much fear of just looking into each other's eyes and receiving a hug, an embracing hug. And so, yes, focusing in the heart, doing meditation on the heart, and also this energy of giving, to just give to the people around you, to act selflessly as much as you can, because human beings nowadays are also very selfish, I have to say. But to just give freely, whatever you have and you want to give it. This sharing, it's like whatever I have in my fridge is yours as well. Just please take it, or whatever knowledge you have, I'm happy to share with you, give it for you, and to make people feel welcome, and this loving kindness, being kind to each other. versus being rude and annoyed and triggered. And I know it's hard in the world at times and the way people live. But to start developing more of this kindness and to become aware of it. Because if we are not even aware that we are rude and disconnected, nothing much is going to change. So we have to become aware, and also we have to want it. Like what I do at times, I make a list, I write down the woman I want to be, and I write all the things that I want to further embrace in my life, or the woman I want to be. And then I check which parts am I not yet and which parts have I not embraced yet. And then I make intentions again and vision boards, and I put it and I focus in daily life on it. In the morning already, I like to make an intention to say, please, whatever you call it, God, consciousness, universe, help me to embrace love today. Help me to love more. Pray as well. Pray to Jesus, pray to God, pray to your guru or whatever, higher forces work for you, and ask for them to support you to bring that love into your life. Also, singing mantras, bhajans is a beautiful way of opening your heart more and to go on this journey of love. But it's a lot what you can do in daily life, like I said, to embrace it with the people around you and to have these intentions also that today I want to live a life full of kindness, and then do it. Act out of kindness all day long. And you will forget it at times, and then you remind yourself again. And another day, I want to be grateful, and you work on gratitude and you try to see all the beautiful things around you and be grateful for a whole day. And today, I would like to do things unconditionally. No matter what people do, I will continue to love them and be joyful today. This is something I do with my daughter. We set sometimes goals in the day. We said today is about joy. Sometimes she chooses, sometimes I choose. We said today we just live a day of joy and we spread joy to everyone. And it's very beautiful, especially when you do it also with someone together. And then in the end of the day to report, how was it and what happened? And so there's many, many things that we can do in terms of that.
That was awesome. That was awesome. And you just confirmed what I was working on a couple of last days with the people in the group, that we should be more grateful and start to see and don't just take everything for granted, and but be really, really grateful for what we are having. So you just confirm that, and this is the right way where to start, just with the gratitude, to be happy that you woke up into the new day, that there is another super day ahead of you, that you have healthy children and you have what to eat, you have money on your bank account, you have roof under your head, you have amazing partner or whatever, just to see and be very grateful. That is something what is, like, I would say, eye opener into the love, and as a first step to start with.
Yes, and the thing is also that what you said is so true. And what I wanted to say now, I lost my thought chain. Yeah, that we're so good in criticizing everything that we don't have, and to focus on that versus bringing this awareness of gratitude for everything that we have, because most often we have everything right in front of us, but we don't see it because we're so focused on the things we don't have and on the criticism. So this is a beautiful way to start, yes, and to practice it like daily for the rest of our life, basically.
Exactly. I was showing, and show also now. This is my book where I write my gratitude, and my goal is every day, even twice.
Yes.
So this is the proof. I do practice and I do recommend. And I have a last question for you, Vani. What kind of woman would you recommend to start a tantra?
Yes. I couldn't think of anyone who would recommend, I have to say. Something so holistic and so something that connects you so deeply to who you are, truly, beyond all the masks and all the name and gender and our qualities and so on. So I recommend it to every woman that feels like she has a longing for something much deeper than what she's currently experiencing. And if you are a woman also wants to start embracing femininity, who is interested in femininity and in exploring your sexuality and exploring your orgasms and pleasure, and also learning about the divine consciousness. Like, what is the divine consciousness? What is this world made of? What's behind the scenes that we don't see? If you have a longing for love, to explore love. If you have a longing also to explore sexuality with another man, if you have a longing to, like, or let's go like this, if you feel like you want something much more deeper in terms of sexuality, in terms of friendships, in terms of your daily interactions, and you're looking for something much deeper and much more profound versus the daily life and kids and marriage and doing all the normal things that everybody does, and the bank accounts and all of these things. And I'm not saying they're bad in any way. I also have all of it, but I need to know why I'm doing it for. What is it for? That meaning, yeah, that we ask so many times, that meaning of life. Because if I just do all the daily things and everything without the awareness of who I am and without knowing of what this universe is about, I am very unfulfilled and I feel very empty within. I can have as many orgasms. If I am not connected to myself, it's very superficial and it doesn't fulfill me much. So it's like, if you have this longing for something deeper, for something more with the world around you, and really getting to know the mysteries of the universe and the magic of the universe, the unseen things that you can feel, but you can't explain it and you can't see it, then I'd recommend you to start this journey of Tantra as well. If you want to have healing, physical healing, emotional healing, mental healing, you're recovering from some accidents or some even certain sicknesses or so on, Tantra can help with all of it. This is something why I love Tantra so much, because it can work on all the different levels that we want to have healing. Even if you have mental problems or something, it is amazing how it can purify the mind, the meditations and the pranayamas and so many things that there are that we can do on this journey. And especially as a woman, of course, if you want to work on your femininity, if you want to divinize your femininity and start to embrace everything about yourself, because femininity is not just one thing, like, oh, this is femininity. No, femininity is as vast as this entire universe is, because the universe is Shakti, is feminine, is the manifestation. So it's like to embrace all the aspects in you, the naughty one and the loving one and the innocent one and the mother and the wild woman. So there's so many different aspects. It was such a revelation for me that when somebody told me that, I was like, what? I don't have to choose one like they always told me to. I can be all of them and I can embrace them all and use them in different aspects of my life whenever I need them. This is something that just like blew my mind when I heard that. And I still love teaching it, the different aspects of femininity, because women feels like, wow, like I can be all of it, and I should embrace as many as I can and to use them accordingly, and to play with them and to enjoy them and to embrace myself in every aspect. So I recommend it to any woman out there that is interested in anything that I've just said, and to embark this journey, especially of exploring the self, the I am. So it's not just about femininity, but eventually it's also, or it is mostly the predominant focus on who you are, who you truly are, this very sweet spot that is within all of us.
I have to say that I believe that you just helped a lot of women in terms of realization and maybe also kind of inner healing. Those women who are listening and watching you, because the way how you speak and how you express yourself was really amazing to see the true femininity, how it should look like, and how you are not shy, just you show yourself and you express also your love for tantra and everything. That is something which is so big motivation. What this is what I got this feeling from this Q&A, from this interview. It is so amazing, and I have to say thank you for that. And
Thank you.
I would really love to offer women out there that we could give them some taste of femininity, to start working with the femininity, because this is so something so healing, so needed. And the freedom, right? To feel freedom to be who you are and don't be ashamed, just show you who you are. So thank you very much for that. And guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have any further questions, just contact me. And I believe and I really hope that we will see each other with Bhavani again in the future. And yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Bhavani, for this amazing
Thank
interview,
you very much
for your
for
presence,
having me.
for who you are. That was really really amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, dear.